Start over again.
Okay. No
Sorry
worries.
for that.
All good. All good. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's going on, Love Bay Radio family? Once again, it is Nigel for the Champions Table. Welcome. As I say, good evening, good night, depending on where you are in the world. We got a fantastic episode for you today. We got some special people here. And I got a special co-host with me. And this co-host, let me make sure I get her name right, get the name right. Miss Crystal C. Rose. And she is an actor, filmmaker, and singer. And she's joining us today. So we thank her for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And how you feeling? You good?
I'm feeling awesome.
All right.
I'm feeling great.
Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. All right. And our special guest today. We got a special guest.
She's so special.
Right? Mr.KOA, or King of Arts. And, I'm saying calling all kings, calling all queens for this episode. It's going to be great. All right. So let me get into a little intro about him. Mr. Ryan Malcolm-Campbell, socially known as Mr. KOA, primarily focuses on photography and visual content creation for celebrity, corporate, and personal clients. Founder and designer of the First Date Game, an intentional dating card game and mobile app that allows both singles and couples to learn about themselves and their partners. This is the game right here, really good game. And as we say, every episode when we get in here, we say, men talk, women talk, but the truth can't lie and the truth will set you free. Let's get into it. So, what's going on, man? How are you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I apologize if I have low energy today at all. It's been a long week, so I'll do my best to
I've never seen you with low energy, bro.
No, it's been a lot, but it's been. I feel like the combination of it being a long week and also just overwhelmingly, a lot of gratitude for pulling off something that's never been done in the city.
Straight up,
a lot of
going global.
A lot of feedback, a lot of messages, also my birthday. Like, it's just a lot all at once, So birthday messages, feedback from the event, 3 sold-out nights, potential residency with the Drake Hotel. Like,
that's awesome.
A lot of things that I'm receiving after a very tough start to this year. So, the ebbs and flows of being an entrepreneur is beautiful, but I think it's finding, a level of consistency and appreciation during the journey that kind of keeps you even keel.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, tell the world, man. So what happened in Toronto this weekend? Just tell the world so they know.
Yeah. So for the first time in almost 2.5 years, I hosted another event called 1+1 Night. I've hosted 4 previously to these ones, 2 in LA, 1 in Toronto, and 1 in DC. That was when I first launched the game 3 years ago. So I launched the game officially May 11th, 2022. And since then, I was over almost 70,000 in sales around the world for the actual physical box. And then this year, February 1st, we launched the app version.
Awesome.
Me and my partner, I have a partner now on the tech side who helped me design the app. And we launched the app this year, February. So now there's an app version of this physical. And when I first was hosting events, it was just me organizing everything. I had no one around me, no team. And I was putting these events together to kind of have people meet and play the game together. And they did well. But again, when you're doing something by yourself, it's a lot. So, some of the issues that we still kind of have now, but definitely improved, was like not a lot of men were showing up. But women were coming. I have a very large women following. So women were selling tickets easily. That was easy for me. But the men was always a challenge. So LA, DC, and Toronto. Toronto was a little bit better because I had friends and family here when I did it.
Right.
But again, it was a struggle. So I had a daughter.
Congrats on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I had a daughter.
Your twin.
October. She looks just like me. October 8th, 2023. I had my daughter. So I stopped doing events while I was being a dad.
Quality time. Yeah.
So one of my, in the back of my mind, I was kind of like, just didn't know how it would do. I'm like, I haven't done the event in 2.5 years. Like, we're in a very, instantaneous economy, and if you're not consistent, people kind of forget. But luckily, in those 2 years, it wasn't like I was doing nothing. Like I was still posting. I still, my brand is still pretty strong, but I just didn't know how the event would do. So initially, it was supposed to be one day. I was like, I'm gonna do an event during Caribbean weekend. I'm gonna come back for the week, spend some time, and I'll have one event. And I made a post about which day I would do them, Monday or Tuesday. My birthday was a Wednesday, so I'll pick one of those 2 days. And a poll pretty much was split down the middle for Monday and Tuesday of people's availability. And I was like, I don't want to just choose one day and then people who can't come on the Tuesday or can't come on the Monday have missing out on the opportunity to do something I haven't done in a long time. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'll do 2 days. And initially, when I first made the 2-day post and released tickets, the first day, were you okay for audio?
Yeah, we're all good.
Oh, yeah. Tickets for the first day were actually going pretty slow, and more people were buying the second day because it was my birthday night, the 29th.
Right.
So me and my partner were having a meeting. We have a meeting every week, and he's like, "You sure you need 2 days? Like, because the tickets weren't going too fast on the first day." And I was like, "No, I'm sticking to 2 days. I already committed to it. Like, I'm the last person to back out of something." I'm like, "It's okay. I'll take I'll take the challenge."
Yeah.
So I think after 2 weeks, day one was at like maybe 15 tickets, and day two was around like 35. So it was like drastically different.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I got to find a way to turn this around. I'm like, I got to change my marketing tactics and stuff. And I just came up with a concept while I was in LA. I was marketing this all in LA before I came home. And I just came up with an idea to kind of like personally talk to men, like very directly.
It worked.
That's how we listen. We don't listen. It's not a post.
It worked for me,
it's
bro.
Not a recap video. It's not words. It's not text. It's literally someone talking to you.
Yeah.
To your face.
Yeah.
So I'll go on my balcony almost I think I only posted a video almost every single day for the next 2 weeks after that. And it was pretty much me saying like, yo, being very transparent with the numbers. I'm like, women are buying my tickets. Like, there's 60 women right now. There's only about maybe 10 guys so far. Like, pull up. So I kept kind of iterating and making new ways. So I wasn't saying the same thing every time, but kind of new ways. And by the next following week after our meeting, day one jumped to 80 tickets.
Wow.
And day two was actually behind.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. So full circle, by the time everything came, both days sold out 150 tickets each night. And then I had 85 people on a wait list.
Wow.
And I'm like, I can't just not do a third day because that's a whole bunch of people that want to come. So I'm like, let me sacrifice my birthday and just make it a historic moment for the city. And
that's dope.
We had 3 full days of 150 people.
That's amazing.
Back to back at the Drake Hotel.
That's amazing, man.
So, man.
I know I experienced it. It was an amazing experience. So intentional, you know what I mean? And really, you spoke to the men for real. Like I think I've done one of those before, and it didn't really. It was very, static. It wasn't as organic, you know what I'm saying? But this was definitely organic, and the men were there. And I had boys calling me like I had a meeting on Monday. And my boy was like, yo, dude, pull up. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you not here?
See, the men started talking, which is what I needed
exactly,
to happen.
Right?
Yeah.
And the men started talking. They're like, yo, I'm pulling up. And then this person called, say, pulling up. And, it was amazing, man.
And that's a huge accomplishment, especially to pull off an event like that in Toronto. We know how Toronto is, especially the reputation it has for not supporting each other. So the fact that you decided that you're going to come back and do it in Toronto, especially not being in Toronto, doing this from LA. I don't want to jump ahead, but I just kind of want to know like what, because many people have tried to do dating events, and it's failed, So what was your thought process and your planning process to be like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, and this is how it's gonna be different.
Yeah. Great question. And yes, a lot of dating events have failed, and usually they fail.
Yeah.
And my direct tactic was going and leaning into that. Like, I think people get scared of trying things that don't work, or I got a lot of people being like, "Oh, you're not gonna get the men out. You're not gonna get the men out." I saw the comments. I was watching everything. "Oh, you're not gonna get Toronto men not gonna come out." I'm like, okay, cool, no worries. Like, and I would address it, and I'd be like, I would actually, address the comments to men. I'm like, listen, man, they're saying you guys aren't coming out. Like, so instead of me being afraid of like these negative, not negative, but like afraid of these not so positive comments about, the Toronto market and dating in general, I kind of leaned into it and explicitly addressed everything that people were complaining about. And one of my videos that kind of pushed all of this was a video I did about stats. So I did like one day I spent a whole day making polls in my story on Instagram, just getting stats from people to like literally just see what the issue was. So I think the first question was like, how many of you had been to a dating event, yes or no, or something like that. And I think it was like 86% of the people said they'd never been.
Oh, wow.
Right? So I was like, cool. So then I was like, from the 86%, I was like, how many of you were curious to go? How many of you would never go? How many of you would maybe go? And then I think it was like maybe 40 or 50% said they would maybe go, and then like 30% said yes, and then the 20% whatever said no. And I was like, from that, and I just kept getting stats, and I'm a numbers guy. I have my Bachelor of Commerce degree, so I work.
Dope.
I'm a nerdy guy before like all that other stuff, but I love stats, and so is my partner. So me and him are just finding ways to kind of like tap into the psychology of how people were complaining what was bothering them. So I was like, okay, from the dating events you have gone to, if you have been, what are the issues? Like not enough men, not enough this, unorganized, like just finding, literally they're answering what I need to work on. So I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So that video of me just talking about the stats, and I was like, okay, well, I have an event coming up. I have two, at the time it was two. I'm like, I have two coming up. These are the stats. I'm gonna solve this. Watch me fix it. And that was the video. That video did like almost 50,000 views of me just talking about the stuff that's going wrong. And that drove a lot of people to just be curious, like, what is this guy doing? Like, why is he addressing all these things? Like, what is this event gonna be? And then for the actual events and the run of show, like it was meticulously like, if he saw it, like timing, when you guys get here, you put your name here, this is how it's gonna run. These tables are for this. I have a product, which also makes me a little bit different than other dating events, because they just have an event, everyone's kind of just there, but there's no tool for them to kind of
engage in the
or create intimate conversation. So that me having a product is a big advantage, because that facilitates the conversation for you. So even if you're shy and not really an outgoing person, just pick up a card and talk. And then if you heard that room, it's just chatter that whole time for 4 hours straight.
I love that.
So a combination of addressing the problems people had, being very transparent about my marketing tactics, and attacking, the psychology of human behavior. And then the event itself, like after all that, it has to be a good event, because I can't let that part down. So I have my notebook. I was walking on my notebook, saying, okay, I gotta do this. Make sure I address this. Make sure. And I was going through it. If you saw me, I was just sprinting around that whole place for 3 days. I'm tired, but it was so worth it.
It was worth it.
So worth it.
Amazing.
What I noticed, and this is the kudos to the research and the time you took into it, being there, and this is me having conversations with women as well. If they came on the Monday, when they came back, it actually got better.
Of course.
Right? So they were like, oh, we didn't da-da-da. And they were like, oh, no. And they were like, just nonstop. Like, oh, yeah, it was good.
So to address that, which is, I kept talking about this with my friends, is very few people have the opportunity to iterate the next day and adjust immediately. It's like you have one event and you're like, if it didn't go perfect, you're like, ah, man, people leave with a bad taste in their mouth, or some people enjoy, some people didn't, or you're like, I wish I could have done this. And your next one's a month or
a year from now.
Depending on what type of event you have, it might be a year, 3 months, whatever.
Right.
So, and then now you've already lost the momentum. People are already like, they're like, it's not worth it. And then now you have to
bring them back,
somehow.
So
I had the advantage of having 3 nights to perfect this. So like the first night was already really good. And that was just me, just like based on everything I know, I'm just gonna run it like this. And when I saw it, I'm just like, the whole day I was just like, okay. Saw people that weren't really engaging, watching, and I'm like, okay. I had my friend getting feedback, like, okay, cool. People were like, oh, I wish I could talk to more people. Cool. So the first day, I tried something as a test. My idea was called the Wingman Box.
That was dope.
So that became dope. The thing. But I thought it was just like a thing. I'm like, maybe they might try that and maybe they might like it. And if they don't, then scrap it. But if they like it, so day 1, the Wingman Box was like a test. I was like, let me see this thing. You put your name in this box anonymously, and I pulled 2 names out. Ashley, Brandon, go to table 1. Like it was just a random thing.
Random blend.
Have people just meeting that people that they probably wouldn't approach normally, but now you're just forced to talk to somebody that you may not talk to. But I only had 2 tables for that day 1. because I thought it was just like an afterthought. I'm like, I'll do that, but I'll run the other stuff a certain way. That box was full with both men and women. I'm like, and it wasn't moving fast enough because everyone wanted to do it. And I'm like, I didn't know you guys wanted to do it like that. But that became like the thing everyone wanted. So people were like, my name didn't get called. I'm just like, I didn't plan for this to be that.
the thing.
So I'm sorry I didn't call your name, but it didn't, so people left.
Come back tomorrow.
Exactly. People left that day a little bit disappointed because to them, it's not their fault. I didn't plan for my own idea. In their mind, they're like, if I put my name in, I didn't get called, it's a problem, So the second day, luckily I had another day, which is a blessing. I'm like, all right, instead of 2 tables, I'm running 8 tables now. Whole wall was 8 tables of that.
That's the day I came.
Okay, so you came the day it was better. So now I have 8 tables. 8 tables was still too slow. But it was going better than Monday, but it was still too slow, but it was much better. So then by Wednesday,
that's why I saw Wednesday was like the
Wednesday
full.
I had the 8 tables at the back.
Like a machine.
A machine. I was running that thing like a machine.
It was like a machine, literally.
Bro.
Conveyor belt like this.
I'm serious. You come in, you sit down, next person every 5 minutes, another lady sits down. There's more women than men, obviously.
I spoke to like maybe 34, like I could,
okay.
like literally boom, boom,
no, because
boom, boom.
because there's only there's about 80 women or 70 women and there's about 45, 50 men. So there's a lot, like not significantly, but there's still more women than men.
Yeah.
And now all men are at the table. And now all men are at the table.
So I see all the men stay and the women rotate through. Yeah. So it's like all the men are gonna talk to every woman.
For sure.
And the women will talk to the guys they want to go through.
Right.
So it was like every 5 minutes another woman sits, and by the end of the night, I was like, has everyone talked to someone? Everyone put their hand up. I was like, done.
Yeah.
Like, that means no one could leave. Like, I didn't have a convo. I didn't, And Wednesday was the most solid day.
Yeah, it was.
But I wouldn't have had the opportunity if I didn't have the 3 nights. So it's I don't know, it all worked out in like a very surreal way.
That's dope.
Yeah, because I heard Nigel and my other friends were talking about it. I didn't realize it was your event until after the fact, but the first night, I think he went the first night or the second night, I can't remember. But he just came back raving like, I went to this event and I left with like 3 solid connections. Like, this is probably the best dating event I've ever been to in the city. And the ratio was
That's why
good.
I went on the thing.
He got
That's why he got me. I got a message from my boy who I've known for a time. When I saw him, I was like, dude. And then my next boy who literally is like, everything is a cloudy day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the glass is always half empty.
Yeah,
when he was like, "Yo, the glass is full," I was like, "I'm going. I'm pulling up."
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So that's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So you got to take it on tour again. I guess
that's the goal. Yeah. So I'm already planning logistics for a tour. The LA date's already booked for 27th. So when I go back, I'm hitting the ground to start prepping for LA.
That's awesome.
And I have a friend in Bali who hit me up. He's like, I want to come to Bali. I have friends in Dubai that want to do stuff. Like this is gonna be
it could be a thing. It could be a real thing.
Is global.
Yeah. So
this is global.
So I'm definitely working on ways to just make sure I can scale this properly and it's possibilities are endless, honestly.
Yeah.
So let me ask this question. With me, because I read your origin story on the website, so I got a question. Based on your origin story, how you grew up and stuff, is what motivated you to create the First Date Game?
My own dating experiences, honestly. I feel like I'm a very intentional person. Anyone that knows me, like I'm a no bullshit guy. Like it's just, I'm very calm, very mellow. I don't have an attitude.
Keep it 100.
But I'm just very direct.
Yeah.
And there's, I've definitely heard from when I've talked to or when I've dated that like, some of them have been a little intimidated just because I'm not
a straight shooter.
I'm just they're not used to people, someone that being like, so telling you like it is. You're like, oh, like you're actually asking me? Yeah, like I care. I want to know. Like I feel like a lot of men, nothing bad against us, but I feel like a lot of men don't genuinely try to get to know women when they're dating. Like it might get blocked by the beauty or the the idea of a woman or whatever. But I feel like a lot of men aren't actively trying to learn women, and I feel like that's something I genuinely would. If I'm interested in you, I will learn. If I'm not interested, then you're not going to hear anything from me.
Right.
I'm hot and cold. Like,
right.
You'll know if he doesn't like you. You know what I mean? But if I do like you, like I'm going to ask you real things. So while I was dating and meeting people over my course of my life, like I've run into a lot of situations where I've asked certain questions and women are like, oh, it's a little early. And I'm like, it's really not. Like, because if I don't know, then we're going to do this thing. And then if I find out later, then we probably would stop talking.
Yeah.
And we're wasting both of each other's time. Like, I'd rather know now if we're not a match and nothing, no love lost, like, we just cut it here. Like, and I feel like there's more of a nervousness and fear that people kind of hold on to. Let me see if I can hold someone a little bit longer and maybe they'll convince them or whatever. And I'm like, I'm not going to play that. Like, I'd rather know now that we're not a match than, and there's nothing wrong with, we are okay to be adults, to be like, we don't work. It's okay.
Let's figure it out before emotions get involved.
Exactly.
Right?
And I feel like people do that a lot of times backwards. They hide those deep questions, drag it out, and then hit those questions later, and then try and force this relationship knowing it doesn't fit. So the questions came from me, questions I would actually ask women when I'm dating, and then questions I actually tested on Clubhouse during COVID.
Nice.
So a lot, like I said, a lot of the big circling theory, I'm a very numbers, data, test-driven person. So none of this is not by chance. Like, this is stuff that I've tested, it worked, and then I've curated into something and packaged it and made it a real product. So during COVID, everyone's on Clubhouse, this app that came out, that short-lived, but it lasted while we're all stuck at home.
Yeah.
A lot of people were on it. Were you on it at all? Clubhouse?
Nah.
Okay, so it was basically like a voice note app.
Oh, okay.
So everyone basically there's no typing. It's literally just you go in rooms and everyone just talks. Everyone just talks into their phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a time.
It was cool because we're all at home. We're just like chilling on our couch or your bedroom, just like, yo, what's going on? And you just jump in conversations and everyone just kind of talks with anyone around the world.
How many people are in there?
It's literally anyone around the world.
Oh,
Picture Instagram just everywhere, just talking.
Wow.
They had a room. Sorry, just because we're on Clubhouse. I just want because they had a room where they did The Lion King live.
What?
Right.
Yeah.
Like the actual workers would come and they would sing in there.
Yeah.
They'd turn their phone on, the actual
dope.
So it was really breaking boundaries of celebrity and show and so
that's dope.
But that was a positive side of it, but there was a negative side of it, which there's a lot of rooms that are just toxic and people just fighting and arguing and people talking with each other and like just not communicating well. So
people being people.
Yeah, exactly. But everything, it'll become that if you have no control. Long story short, I decide just watching, observing, I'm like, I need to make my own room and just kind of create my own little following on here. And I'll use this app for a benefit rather than just like be on here to just waste time.
Yeah.
So I made a room initially called Love and Work. And Love and Work was me creating a space to discuss balancing entrepreneurship and your love life.
Right.
And just a challenge of, being an entrepreneur and pursuing a career versus pursuing love and like the pendulum of like,
dope, man.
just struggling with like that balance. Like it's real life.
Yeah.
So I started a room called Love and Work, and it started with like maybe 5 people would come in, 6 people, we'd have a convo. And my goal was to just like probe questions every week. So I would have my notebook and I would think of a couple questions to just like create for the room. And
was the end goal to make this?
No, I didn't know this came from that.
Wow.
Like
that was that experience.
I was just creating dialogue. My goal is to make dialogue and build my brand as like someone talking about stuff like that.
Right.
So I would come up with questions and I would just drop like 2 or 3 questions every Wednesday. And I ran that for 17 weeks in a row, every Wednesday, 8 p.m. I committed, I locked myself in. And it grew from like 5 to 10 to 15 to like 30 consistent people just in there. People are coming up having conversations. It will last like 2 to 3 hours.
You said 13 weeks?
17 weeks
17
straight.
weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was what, like how many months? Like
4 times, almost 4 months.
Going to the classroom right now.
No,
almost 4 months.
Yeah. So, and then after that, when everything opened up, then people were off Clubhouse. So I had this book of questions and all this data and conversations that were created from this. People were meeting people in my room, starting relationships. Like, because if someone will come up and say something, then they'd be like, "Oh, I like that guy." Follow him. They start talking from the room, and then they start dating. So I was like, I've created an environment here.
Yeah.
So when I moved to LA, I found the book of the questions, and I was just sitting in my room, like just kind of adjusting to moving, and just kind of like processing like. Even doing that big move was a big thing for me. And I'm just like, whoa, like I did it. Like,
we'll get there. I want to get there too.
So I was just sitting there like, yo, this was so hard to do. And I did it. Like, I moved, I got my visa, like, man. And I saw the book and I was like, yo, I feel like, oh shoot, I might remember this book. And I was going through the questions. I'm just like, and I had played like other dating games before, but they've always like felt short to me, like felt very like superficial or just like drinking games, like nothing. It's just for fun, like it's not really like
intentional.
It's not intentional. It's not really trying to fix something. It's more just like something to do, something to waste time. You know, learn someone's business. Like it wasn't really like So what really motivated me was We're Not Really Strangers. There's a game called We're Not Really Strangers. Have you heard of it?
Yeah,
no, I've never heard of it.
I've done the Men from Mars, Women from Venus one.
So We're Not Really Strangers is probably one of the biggest dating games. It's not just dating game, but biggest interactive game.
Right.
Because they have like other questions, not just dating. But and I purchased it just to kind of do some research and see it. And I looked at it and I was like underwhelmed a little bit. But their branding was great, like the marketing of it, and sometimes marketing is better than the product.
Exactly.
know. So it was this girl from California. She created this thing. I think now they have like maybe 4 million followers on Instagram. Like the page is huge, and it's cards as well. And I was like, I could do this, and I could do this better than this, to be honest. And I'm Black, so I'm like, I'm gonna make a game.
Yeah,
and that's literally when I decided. I'm like, I had the game, and I had their game, and I was like, I can do something better than this. Like, it literally just hit me. I'm like, I can do something better than this. And with the questions I've already had, fix them, perfect them, but I can make a game. It's not going to be easy,
right?
But I could definitely do this.
Yeah.
And I think I just need to see, like, in my hand, like, this is all they did. Like, I looked at the box. I'm like, okay, they made the box. Questions. I'm like, bruh, this is, it's not,
it's very doable.
It's going to take work, but yes, you could do it.
Yeah.
So that box you see there, I spent 2 months designing it side by side.
Love it.
Every font, every color, every texture, everything. I put that together, and then went through all the questions, reworded them so they kind of flow a little bit better when they're asked in the conversation. And about 80% of the questions there were the questions from my book. And I added some new ones.
Could we do a quick zoom in shot for?
Sure.
Can we?
You want to do that after?
We can do that after. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Change the settings.
Yeah, just so.
So 80% of the questions were from that clubhouse room, and then I kind of added some new ones to kind of round it out. So there's 98 questions in there, 2 pass cards, and
there's a pass card.
There's 2 pass cards.
Oh wow, okay.
So
I never found those.
Yeah, I mean it's through the deck, but the pass cards are used. The pass cards are interesting because I still want to allow people to respect people's decision,
right?
But the pass cards also say something that they don't say, in the sense of like, of course you're allowed to pass, but if you're having a conversation with someone and they pass a certain question, you have your own.
Yeah, you have to take your own. Yeah,
okay,
take note.
Yeah, and that's for you. That's you. You're allowed to do it, but okay.
Yeah,
I respect you passing, but
note taken.
Yeah, mental note.
So there's that. So so yeah, that's essentially how the whole thing kind of came together.
That's dope, man.
I love that.
That's amazing, man.
I just wanted to ask, just because you've been in Toronto for a while and then you moved to LA, just like how is the dating scene between the two? Because you talked about. And when I say dating scene, I think I'm more mean like the mentality of the men in Canada versus the US. Because you said when you opened Clubhouse, it was about balancing work and relationships. And oftentimes a lot of men feel like they have to have a certain level in their career. They have to reach certain goals, be at a certain financial status before they even want to engage in a conversation with a woman or in a serious thing. Yeah. So I'm wondering if you've noticed that you find that more prevalent with a certain demographic or here in Canada or in the US, or do you find that men are shifting now to realize that, you know what, maybe I can actually build with a woman and I don't necessarily feel like I have to be at a certain level?
Yeah,
question.
It's a good question. I think just from my own observation, obviously it's not entirely fact for everything, but I would say from my own observations, I think the same issues everywhere. So women in LA are complaining about men in LA. Women in Toronto are complaining about men in Toronto. I think every woman is complaining about the same issues in their own city because of social media and everything being so widespread. The mentality of men, it's easier to spread everywhere than it used to be.
Right.
So if men are operating a certain way in Toronto, or in LA or Chicago or Miami, whatever it is, like they all kind of have the same mentality because they're all interacting with the same stuff on a daily basis.
Feeds,
So
reels.
it's bleeding through any city. It doesn't really matter.
It's real.
You know what I mean? So I think it's creating, you know, things like what I'm doing and having those type of men kind of filtered out is how we kind of repair this. And that's essentially my goal with this, because a big thing I said at my event was like, you know, I think day 1 I had like 40 men come out. Day 2 I had like maybe 44, and then day 3 I had the most. It was like almost 50, 60. And that's a win. Like there's still more women, 100%. You know, the women that complain there's less men, but on the bigger spectrum of things, like there's men here right now. Like it's not 5 guys, it's not 10.
Up, man.
Like there's men in the building. So I made sure I applauded the men that did show up, because that is a win that they're here. And it only gets better. And like I'm saying, the way he was saying is like, guys are talking like, when I come back, I'm telling you that's gonna flip. Because like it's a chatter of like, oh, yo, definitely coming back now. It starts with the men that did choose to be intentional.
And then speak and spread it.
Speak to other guys, because it can't come through women. Because if it comes from y'all, it sounds like you're complaining.
Right.
And if it comes from a man, like, yo, just come. Like, and then a man can convince a guy to come because he's like, yo, if he's going, same way he says, that guy said, yeah, all right. You know what I mean? So it's that type of reframing that has to happen. And also, I made it important to note, I'm like, the men that are here right now, I'm like, for the ladies in here, everyone in here essentially is intentional, because this is not a club. Like, this is not the club. So like any man in here, they know why you're here.
They know why you're here, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like that in itself kind of helps, you know, the women feel more comfortable to talk and be open, because I'm like, you're not at the club. This is not a guy that's just like trying to pop a bottle or just trying to take you home. Like if he's here, he has to talk. This is not like I was running a machine. This is not a game. Like it's not like you can just stand up in the corner.
And observe.
This is not the place.
Yeah.
You know, so everyone has to speak to you. So
and those guys get weeded out real quick, right? Quick, especially in that setting.
Yeah. So I think, to answer your question, I think it's everywhere. I think this has to be improved everywhere. But I think the biggest difference with LA and Toronto is just the influence of LA. You know, everybody's somebody, or they think there's somebody.
They think there's somebody,
you know, so we don't really have celebrity culture here.
Right.
Like it's not
coming slowly, but not LA.
It's not even close. It's not even like
I've never been.
You can walk around Toronto and no one's gonna bother you for celebrity. They might see you like, oh, that's that guy. Unless you're Drake, like Drake will get followed because he's the guy in Toronto.
Right.
But you know, if Denzel Washington comes, he's not gonna get followed. Like people will see him, but we're respectful here. Well, that's Denzel. Oh, you know, okay. Celebrities cannot do anything in Toronto, in LA. They can't do anything. And it's not just the big ones, it's any celebrity. There's A-list, B-list, C-list. There's an influencer celebrity. Like there's so many levels of celebrity. There's the streamer celebrity now. You know what I mean? Like it's not, Toronto doesn't even can understand what that's like. So when it comes to dating, everyone thinks they're almost famous or almost this. So it's starting to affect dating culture, because now there's this like pretentiousness of like,
pompous,
you know what I mean? Like, and the woman's like, I don't care. Like, I don't like, I know rich people. Like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? But like, the men think it means something in LA. So there's a disconnect of like men thinking they can buy women, or they can pay for women, or they're influencers. You know, I have 2 million followers. Like, I don't care. I just want someone who's a good guy. Like, you know,
genuine.
So that you don't really have that type of conversation here for the Toronto men. They're not talking like, yo, I'm this guy. Like, no one knows you. No one knows anybody here.
Exactly.
And even if they did know you, they front like they don't know you. And they could be following you too, you know?
That's real.
That's Toronto for you.
So, yeah, man.
That's dope. I think what I want to say too is that the fact that you've done those where you read stories and folks like respond to it, you've created a community. Right? Especially the women. You've created an intentional community where the women trust you, right? And I think that's huge, because and I say that to say that a lot of the women that came, I wouldn't say a lot, I would say 99% of the women that came were intentional, were real. Even if it wasn't a connection with me, everybody I met was like, yo, dope. And people that like wanted like something real. You know what I mean? So I think that's kudos to the community that you've created, for sure.
Thank you.
You know?
And more so the women trusting you, because, you know, I find, and as a woman, I find that women are often usually very intentional
Right.
in these spaces. But the fact that you were able to cultivate a space where the men could come and be intentional, I think that speaks volumes.
That's
because
huge.
you know, like you alluded to before, a lot of men, if you say, "Oh, this is a dating event," they're like, "I'm not going to a dating event.
I'm not coming.
I'm not coming to a dating
No, they
event."
literally said it to me, I'm not coming.
Yeah, why would I go to a dating event? You know?
And I think the stigma already is so negative because of what you're saying. Like, most dating events are unsuccessful.
Yeah.
So a man's like, I already know what happens at those. Like, they go, I'm forced to talk to some girl I don't like. The girls aren't pretty, whatever the case may be. All these stigmas. No, but for real, like all these stigmas that men are saying, like, are attached to it. So I think that's why the events were so beautiful to me as well, because two things happened. One, definitely there's beautiful people in the room. Like, there's beautiful people in the room on both sides, men and women. But aside from the attraction, the physical part of it, there was also an element of people, because the way I was running the event, people were talking to people, and it was removing the physical because I was matching you with anybody.
Right.
And I would see some people that may not normally talk to a certain person, chatting, like going in deep conversations with someone that you probably would not normally pull. You might have like a preconceived notion of who they are, or kind of judge them, or whatever the case may be. But I come back around the table and the man's still chatting for 30 minutes. With someone that he probably would never have spoken to. Yeah. And now he's like, yo, I'm good. I'm good, actually. Yeah. Oh, okay. Do your thing.
I love that.
So, like, I like that it was breaking that, like, superficial barrier of, like, I only want to talk to a pretty girl or attractive guy. Like, you're just forced to talk to a person. Yeah. And what came from that, hey, you know, real. That's between y'all. That's
real. I love that. And that's so opposite from, like you said, trying to create an event or a narrative that's opposite from what we normally see, because this is like so opposite from what we see, like in terms of like a pop the balloon,
right?
And that's not to shade on pop the balloon.
No, it is shade. I'm shading it. You know why I'm shading it? Like, yeah, you know, you're wearing a purple shirt, and because of that, you know, we're not compatible. What?
Yeah, the reasoning is kind of
what the helly?
Yeah, I know. It's. Yeah, I mean, that platform has its own success in its own right, but I like that you gave a different alternative where people can actually have the conversations, because at the end of the day, when we're talking about relationships, you know, purple shirt, Nike shorts, your hair is long, your hair is short, that doesn't matter when you're actually trying to get into a proper, genuine
I don't say a word and you popping balloons? Like, what? You don't even know my name?
Yeah.
Pop, 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 pop.
That's like, definitely something that I'm trying to shatter.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't like men with dreads.
Yeah.
Okay, like I can shave it off.
It's just silly.
Yeah.
It's silly. So yeah, I think that's exactly why. I mean, again, they have success because of the you know, wow culture of it, and the toxicity of it, and anything like that will do well online because people love drama.
Yeah, exactly. It's like reality TV.
Yeah, but I think why I love the event and why it was so beautiful seeing that many people come out is because there was nothing superficial about that evening.
Yeah, it's real.
You know, that you were literally talking to someone all night, talking to people you may not talk to. And, you know, people were literally leaving in really good situations. And I got a lot of great feedback of people meeting on day one, coming back day two with the person potentially, you know, going on date one or date two, a couple days after meeting. Like, the person's like, yeah, I met you yesterday. Yo, let's go out tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Yo, like, man's are making moves quick. Like, they're like, yo, so tomorrow night we should be.
Yeah.
And woman's like, oh, shoot. Like, no, tomorrow.
Yeah. One of our boys.
Yeah. He went out like 3
nights already.
Yeah.
With somebody.
Yeah. 4 of the. He was like, you're going on a coffee date again today? Like, what the?
Yeah.
Yo, it was amazing.
I love that.
And then the other part of it that I think is really dope too is that some folks came out like when a woman sat in front of me and said she came here by herself, like pulled up by herself, and was like, you know what? I don't know if I'm gonna meet anybody, but just to get out of my comfort zone, I'm here. I'm here. Yeah. I was like, yo, kudos.
Yeah.
You know, and she was like, you know what? And a lot of them said, you know, I feel like, you know, usually I'm just to myself, introvert or whatever, but this was like,
you know, what's great about that too.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of messages about that too. Like, women pulled up by themselves, but they met other women. women like kind of
and they
brought them
connect,
in. So like the
into a
other
community.
introverted women, see another introverted women, they're like, yo, you here by yourself too? Okay, and then people were left with friends as well.
I love
they did.
that.
You know, so
They
like
did.
there was connections, you know, romantically, but there's also people leaving with guys and girls.
Yeah,
guys
exactly.
would meet other guys like, yo, what's going? Yo,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, so man, I'm still processing all of it, but
it was amazing, bro.
So beautiful.
Yeah, it was amazing on so many levels, man. Yeah, so I'm a switch the conversation just a little bit.
Yeah,
switch the conversation just a little bit. So here it is. So as I said, if you have not yet checked out your website, man, tell us what your website is again. Like, how do people go
so
to your
my website's super simple, Mr.KOA.com.
Right.
MRKOA.com.
Okay.
But my website is, I spent some time on that thing.
I know.
I spent some time on that thing. And I think it's really to reiterate that, you know, having a website is not of the past. You still should have a landing page and somewhere people can look you up when they need to. And spend the time one time, like spend it. You know, it took me months to really put that together properly, but now I just kind of adjust it as I need to. But everything is on there. If you don't know who I am and you land there, you can stay on my website for a little bit,
dude,
just digging through some stuff.
Telling you,
so
man.
I put my whole bio in there, how I started, my upbringing, my early childhood, my transition into entrepreneurship, the upside, the downside, how I started the game. You'll see all my work on there, obviously, everything it's grown into. So, if you're interested, you want to take the time, you'll find some stuff on my website.
I'm telling you, global world, like you need to pull up to this man's website and check out the work he does and get to know him. Like, that's the thing. When I went on your website, it was like, yo, I got to know you for real. You know, I thought I knew you based on stuff, but I got to know you for real. You know what I mean? So if you really want to meet him and see what he stands for and collaborate and partner and do all those things, man, check it out. So my question is, man, you're an amazing writer, bro. Like, and I said that to you earlier, man.
That's my undercover talent.
Yeah. And I was like, yo, man, you painted a picture.
I'm gonna write a book one day.
Man. You painted a picture. You should do it, bro, for real. You painted a picture of your life story, man. And I was literally like, I felt like I was literally doing this.
Really?
Wow. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So my question for you is this. Does that make you an amazing, I think it does. It makes you amazing visual storyteller.
Like, does that help?
Yeah, does that help? Because you're an amazing writer. So, like, the visual story.
It's a great. I've never been asked that question though. Thank you. That's a great question.
Yeah.
I never thought of it, but 100%. Because it's not until you work with me, and it's happened on numerous occasions with like clients, you know, whoever I work with, at any level, high level, low level. But when I'm attacking a project, I can already see that whole thing. Like it's a very strange gift I have, but like if someone's like, okay, this is my idea, this is the idea I want to do, so how I want it to look, this is how I want it to kind of go, but I don't know how to put it together. I'm someone who like, you can just like dump everything on me and I can just like sift it together and turn it into something very easily. It's just how I process things.
Right.
So, you know, if I'm filming something, when I'm filming, you know, an event or something, I already see the whole story. Like I can pull up to the event, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna film this. They're gonna walk in. I'm not just pulling my camera out and just getting clips.
Yeah.
Like
nothing random. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Like some people just pull up to events and just shoot clips and then try and figure it out later. Like I already know what I'm filming and the whole thing is already written in my head. And that's just how I operate. So when I'm filming something, creating something, you know, posting something, you know, anything creative that has to be told to somebody, my goal is always to storytell, because that's how I input information, and that's how I kind of export it as well. It comes out as something people can digest, and I always want people to feel something. So for me, it's like I never want to put something out that doesn't have any type of emotional impact. It's just not worth it to me.
Yeah, it gotta be real. Gotta be real. No, that's dope.
As a storyteller, how have you been navigating this shift over the years from, you know, long form content to short form content, especially with TikTok and people's attention spans being like 30 seconds or less? And I do feel like it's slowly trying to transition back into long form content, but like how have you been navigating that?
I've purposely pushed back against it. I mean, if you see stuff on my page, like, you know, I still don't really post short things. Like, you know, he mentioned the dating stories. Like, people send me, you know, their worst date experiences, and I read them online anonymously.
I love that.
And that was one of the best ways I marketed the game and my brand, was just people see my personality, reading their trauma and their stories
and blunt as ever.
And I'm very blunt, but that's my personality. Yeah. That's, you know, that's me putting myself out there as me.
Yeah.
And people, you know, were drawn to it. So, but those videos are 9-10 minute videos of me reading, just me reading.
Yeah.
And people are there.
And
they're
people are
engaged.
And keep it 100 though. You keep it a buck though.
You know, so it's like, I could have been like, oh, are people gonna really listen to this whole thing? I don't care. I'm creating what I want to create.
Yeah.
What I want to create is this. I'm gonna read your stories. I'm gonna put this way. I'm gonna produce it this way. I'm gonna light this way. Y'all either sit down and watch or don't. But I'm not gonna stop doing it because this isn't what is moving right now.
Like, be authentic.
I've never created from a place of what the people want. Like at the end of the day, I'm a storyteller. I'm a creative, and if this is not the best example for me that has really, you know, solidified my confidence in myself, is, you know, it's not about trying to appease people. If you feel something works or you feel something can work, people will come to that if you create it properly and spend the time.
Yeah.
Like, I could have been like, oh, everyone has a game already. Like, there's already dating games out there. There's already these apps out there. And like, a lot of people think that way. And it really suppresses you from just doing anything, because you're like, there's everything out there.
Everything is already out there.
There's nothing new out there.
Yeah.
It's really
nothing new under
how
the sun.
you separate
100%.
is you doing the same thing differently.
Yeah.
That's the only way to separate. There's nothing you can make that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But I saw that game and I said, okay, this exists. I can make it better. It doesn't exist how I've done it. It doesn't exist with me behind it. It doesn't exist with my brain or my ideas. So I'm gonna do it too, and we're gonna see what happens.
I love that.
You know, so I've never been, you know, fearful of the norm or going against the grain or any of that type of stuff. And people that follow me will definitely contest to that.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's a huge encouragement to, I'm sure, somebody that's listening, because like you said, I'm sure there's people that have an idea to want to do something, and they're probably there thinking like, oh my gosh, but there's 5 of this or there's 10 of this or whatever. That may be true, but there's only one of you. And like you said, you're going to bring a different spin to it, a different lens to it. You're bringing your own experience, your own life, you know, behind it. So you will make it different in whatever way you can. And that's exactly, you know, what you did. And, you know, back to what we said, there's been tons of dating events happening in the city, but you took a different spin with it, you know, and it made it work. So yeah, definitely.
Yes. So there's a quote that I think it's I believe it is Kendrick Lamar, and I have it. Somebody gave it to me actually, and it's pretty much what you're saying, in the sense of, because you're an original, right? When you get to the point where you stop trying to be like everybody else, that's where you become your true self. You know what I'm saying? You become your true self, and you start living out your true self. Because listen, man, your fingerprint's different than my fingerprint, and it's that for a reason, right? So you got to do your thing the way you're supposed to do it, and stop trying to be a copycat when you're a masterpiece, right? Right? So definitely, I agree with that wholeheartedly, man. So we're going to get into it. We're going to keep it moving here.
Yeah, let's get
Keep it moving. So let's talk a little bit about we talked about the dating game. The app, man. Talk to me about the dating game app.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm excited. You see how I just started smiling? Like, that's honestly, like, the app is probably like something that I'm so passionate about for like so many reasons. And the physical is this is the core of my brand, right?
Right.
And it's always going to be. But the app part excites me so much because even how it came about was a university friend of mine, Matthew. We went to school together, we hooped together, and we're you know,
What university did you go to, by the way?
University of Ottawa.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Ottawa GG's.
Okay.
So I played basketball there for 3 years. But anyway, so university friend and a good friend of mine was basically watching everything I was doing with this when I first launched the game. It's like saw me, you know, pushing it, like hosting events, like just literally just me by myself, just doing it. Still is in a sense, essentially, but he's not my partner. But at the time, he's just watching me, just do this, like pushing in, like he's like, yo, this guy's he's going with something. I think he has something. And then I think it was after about a year and a half of me just pushing in, like I grew my TikTok from 10,000 to 200,000 in like 7 months. Like I was just on the ride. I was just like going ham at this. And one day he hits me up. He's like, yo, you have some time to chat real quick? I was like, yeah, of course. So what's up? He's like, all right, cool. Like go on, you want to go on Zoom? I was like, all right. Like it was mad cryptic. I'm like, why are you on Zoom? Like, just call me. Just call me. He's like, let's go on Zoom real quick. I was like, all right. So we go on Zoom and I'm just talking to my boy on Zoom. I'm like, yo, what's up? Like,
why we on Zoom?
Like, you know, and he's funny, but I was like, yo, what's up? He's like, yeah, so I just you know, wanted to ask some questions about what you've been doing. I want to say I'm proud of you for what you created. I was like, thanks. He's like, yo, so what are your big goals for like that for the game and stuff? I was like, eventually I want to have like a TV show. You know, I want to, I've already filmed some pilots around it. He's like, okay, cool. I'm like, yeah, I also want to have like a dating app at some point and like challenge like Tinder, Bumble, Hinge. Like I want to challenge that space. Like they're the giants, but I think I can get into that space and really like make some noise and shift it.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, cool. So yeah, you do want to have an app at some point. I'm like, yeah, eventually, like long term, like, but not too far, but eventually I want to do an app, but that's definitely something long term goal for me. He's like, all right, cool. What if I told you the app was finished?
Oh.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I was like, what are you talking about? And he turns his phone around and he has like the demo on his phone of the app. And he's an app developer. And I'm like, bro, what are you showing me right now? And he's like, bro, I spent the last 2 months of my own time just watching you and pulled all the data off your website, pulled all the colors, all the font.
Oh, wow.
Didn't ask me for anything.
That's a real one, dude.
Didn't ask me for a thing.
Lord, bring those type of people into my life right now.
And he said, yo, he's like, I know what type of person you are. You're not really someone that talks a lot. Like you're an action
game.
person.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to come to you and be like, yo, I have this idea to He's like, I know you're someone that's like action.
Show me, yeah.
So the app is finished. It's not ready, but it's ready to be tested, and I would love to be part of this with you and be a partner.
Wow.
And I was like,
dog. That's amazing.
I was like, what? Yeah. What? Like,
wow.
So
side note, if you're ever interviewing for a position, do what his boy just did, okay?
Man, do the work. Do the work.
Yeah, wow.
I could not say no. There's no no.
Yeah, how can you say no to that?
Yeah.
The work's done.
He
said, I've already done it. What do you want? What's up?
Yeah.
What's
like, next?
What do we need?
Where do we sign?
Wow.
So I was like, bro, wow. Okay, yo, let's what?
Like we're already working.
Yeah.
So long story short now, 2 years later, we've been working on the app for 2 years.
Okay.
We've been iterating it, changing it, tweaking it, testing it. And we launched it this year, February.
Wow.
So why I'm so excited is because like this is 2 years coming and now it's out. Like now you guys are seeing it, but like we've talked about all these plans,
this thing.
The game plan of it, the rollout of it. You know, I'm still the front of the brand and I market. Obviously, I do all the marketing. He's a tech guy.
Right.
But the big part of it, obviously, he designed it. But I'm still the face of my brand and the company and all that. But he's been a huge help with just helping me plan, even helping me execute. He was at the event, just kind of helping me. Like when I'm going around, he's like, "Oh, try this." Like, you know. So he was helping me run the event.
That's
like just
awesome.
like whisper to my ear, like, "Oh, some people aren't talking." Like, go. You know what I mean? Like he's a great partner. You know, like in all things. Even though he's kind of behind the scenes, but he's a great partner in all things. And the rollout for the app and the game plan and agenda for it, like, you know, we almost have texting, the text capabilities ready.
Nice.
So right now, I'm not sure if you download the app yet, but essentially how the app should be used right now is at the bare minimum, it's a carbon copy of the physical.
Right.
So if you're in person with somebody and you didn't purchase the game, but you want to play, you can download that for free.
Okay, nice.
App Store or Google Play Store.
Right.
Search the First Date game. And essentially, when you're with someone, you both can play on the same phone. You can share a phone and pass it back and forth.
Dope.
Or you can have your own phone and keep it private if you want to and play with each other.
Right.
But if you're playing remotely, like say long distance relationship or something like that, to play with your partner right now, you have to FaceTime them to talk, like to answer the question.
Right.
Because like there's no capability in the app yet. So like you both have the phone out, put your FaceTime on and kind of talk through it to ask questions or on the phone.
Right.
And the next rollout for the next update, which should be right in a few weeks or so, is the texting aspect.
Oh, wow.
So that now when you have a question, you don't have to be on the phone. You can just text your answer. You'll get a notification, be like, oh, Ryan answered. You'll get that in your phone. You know what I mean? That way it gives you the freedom to like, I don't have to be on it. It's like it's a small update, but it's such a game changer. Because like now you don't get like, if I send you a message, I answer your question, or Ryan answer your question. Now you can be dating throughout the day with that person.
I
and
love
like,
that.
you know, so
that is that's a game changer,
man,
right?
I love that.
Obviously we're gonna add voice notes eventually. And I think the exciting part about it is like all these features exist in other apps. Like for example, you know, you already have voice notes and all that stuff in Instagram and stuff like that. But the reason it's so exciting is because we're creating this app backwards from the core of what works and then adding these features. Because everyone's so used to, you're already used to voice noting. People voice note on your app, like it's easy.
Yeah.
But now it's not a benefit because it's something that's just so frivolous.
Yeah.
Right.
But to get you into the app at the core of the sole purpose of using it, then adding these cool features, now reintroducing something you're already used to,
that's a bar,
is actually really dope now.
Yes.
Like, oh, now I can voice note. You've been voice noting that stuff.
Yeah.
But now I can voice note in that though.
Yeah.
That's a bar.
So we're creating the brand.
I love that.
From the core of like, you're gonna love this app at its basic. So now when it's like, okay, now you can add friends. Now you can, someone else has the app in a room and you can match with them in the room. Like all these little things that you're already used to doing the activity of, but being added into this where you're already a fan of at its core is going to be such a beautiful thing to see once we expand this. So I gave you guys some updates that we haven't even shared yet publicly, but
that's dope. Let me say this, bro.
Yeah.
I think the fact that you started this off intentionally with literally, you know, people talking to people is the game changer, fam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you did it with the real, like this is what we crave, like, you know what I'm saying?
Bring
and
back
so
the
you
human
started,
connection,
the human connection of that, and then now putting it into something like this. I just downloaded, by the way.
Yeah, it looks sweet.
It's proper, man.
Thank you.
So App Store
or Google Play Store, both.
Okay, yeah.
We
and
just hit the first date game in the App Store and the Google Play Store.
I think we just go pick it up. Yeah.
I think we're at 3,800 downloads.
Okay,
so far.
Wow.
In the 6 months.
Yeah.
That's a big accomplishment.
Global. Anybody listening to this, wherever you are,
wherever.
Australia, Nigeria. I know my Nigerian people check in. Check it out. Whoever sees this, go and check it out.
I can even tell you right now the top. See you guys.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now the top cities that download.
Yeah.
So we have. What is it?
I love analytics, man. Analytics is so cool.
I just love numbers. Like I feel like it also shows me like, you know, the demographic of what's working, what doesn't work.
Right.
It's always, I'm always curious to see like
critical
working,
thinking.
how do you fix something, what's working, why it's working.
Yeah.
You know, so our top 20 countries are United States, Canada, United Kingdom, South Africa, Australia, Netherlands, Germany, Jamaica, Nigeria, Trinidad and Tobago, France, India, Kenya, Bahamas, Barbados, Ghana, Ireland, Morocco, Poland, and Sweden are the top 20 countries for my app.
That's dope, man. That's amazing.
That's
amazing, man.
That's wild.
That's amazing, bro.
Like
that's amazing, man.
That stuff to me is what makes like everything so exciting.
I know.
Now it's already everywhere in people's minds. So all I gotta do is just keep building it. It's like now I have like a group in Sweden that just now knows. You know what I mean? Like
It's mind blowing, man. I know when I started this whole Champions Table thing, man, and a dude who's from Nigeria, man, he messaged me while I was like doing it live, because usually live, right? But anyway, he messaged me and he's like, from Nigeria. I was like, dude. I was like, what? You know what I mean? Tuning in from Nigeria, tuning in from Australia. It's because you're looking at it from the purpose of it's not just a dating app. It's like a person is actually engaged. You know what I'm saying? A part of your community, man. You know,
and then it transitions into the future of that particular couple.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if that couple gets married because of meeting on my app, or
it's amazing.
Meeting at my event, like I'm a part of their story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
That's so crazy to me.
Their story, their generation, their kids, everything, right? There's something you said earlier that I wanted to bring up when it was talking about, like, when we talk about this first date game. I was listening to somebody and they said that you should ask all the hard questions before you make the decision to get married, right? Or if that's the route you want to take, but ask all the hard questions before, right? Don't wait till after. Now you're going to ask those questions, you know what I'm saying? And then if you have all the hard questions before, you have the bliss after.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Have the bliss after, because you already asked those questions, man. But yeah, that's dope. That's dope. We're going to keep it moving. Here's the question. Here's the next question. You want to ask this question?
Okay.
Here. I have my phone right
here. Yeah. So, okay. So when we're talking about, and I'm sure you're an analytics guy, so I know you've done your research and all that stuff with how men and women process certain things. What's your thoughts on the differences between emotional intelligence and I haven't seen all the questions on here yet, but do you keep that in mind when you've been creating these questions about, like, having people tap into their emotional intelligence and having people really engage in those conversations to, have those deeper conversations and not just superficial,
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean,
it's a catchphrase now, It's that catchphrase of emotional intelligence. What is your emotional intelligence? Do men have emotional intelligence?
It's a buzzword. Yeah, for sure. But it's definitely something that is in mind by nature, just because, that the questions in this game, they're not your typical question. And when you're dating, typically, going on a new date with somebody, you get the same few questions, like, what are you looking for, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Which means if we're all asking the same questions all the time when we're dating each other, it gets to a point where you now have an automated answer. Do you know what I mean?
For everybody.
For everybody. Like, your answer's already prepared.
Yeah.
Like, I know for me, this girl, she can ask me this, I'm asking this. So your answer's already prepared and structured. This game, almost all the questions, to be honest, for the most part, unless you're in a relationship already. If you're in a relationship, you probably ask some questions. Because to get there, I hope. I hope. I mean, some couples still play it as well, because couples came to my event as well.
Yeah.
And they said, some of these questions we've asked and some we haven't, which is good.
It's amazing. Yeah.
But if you're single and you're just dating, most of these questions you're not asking on your dates. And because of that, you can't prepare for these answers. So when the people at my event that are going back and forth, those are their first time probably answering those questions right now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so you can't run from that and you can't plan for that.
Yeah.
And your answers can't be structured as like, oh, I already have this answer in the back of my head. I'm just gonna say, like, if you walked around that room, guys are like, because that's not their normal regimen of questioning, So that automatically is forcing them to tap into emotional intelligence, tap into their inwardly thinking of like how they feel about things. How do you actually feel about this? What are your real thoughts about this? What have you changed? Like, a question is like, have you ever changed in a relationship? Have you ever changed who you are in a relationship due to the partner you're with, or something? I think the wording was something like that. But essentially, it's basically like, have you ever been in something that has changed you as a person? You can't plan that answer. Like, your honest answer is like, yeah, actually. And then it's like, why? It's like, well, man, I stopped doing this, or I used to want to do more, and not, you know what I mean? Whatever the case may be, but you're literally answering for the first time to that person you're talking to.
Yeah.
So a lot of these answers people are giving are the first time they're saying these things out loud. You might have thought it to yourself, but you're not saying it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm so excited about what it's creating, is because it's literally forcing people to address things that they either hide from or just have never formally shared.
The real stuff,
Yeah.
So
dig deep. Yeah.
That's dope. Do you think there's a difference between a man's emotional intelligence and a woman's emotional intelligence?
I mean, I think we're different by nature. So I'd say yeah. I mean, I think women are thinking about things on a daily basis that we're not thinking about, and vice versa. I think it's perspective of what those things are. Like, I don't think it's more or less that women are more or less. I think it's a difference. I think they're different. Like, women are thinking, okay, things about like safety and things about their children and things about security and your intelligence and how you process and your temper and all these other things that affect them when they're in a relationship with a man. We're stronger than them. So, I don't want to abuse the person. Like they're tracking all these little ticks you might have. Yeah. We're not tracking a woman's abusiveness. Even though they can abuse us, we're not, that's not our first thinking. Like, is she gonna slap me or tag me one day if she gets mad? Like that's stuff they worry about. And if they see a temper in you, that's a flag for, you know what I mean? That's true. Our questioning and our reasoning are different, but the man, ours are more just like, okay, what is she looking for? Does she want just my money? Like, we're very intelligent. Like, guys aren't dumb either. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, I think our reasonings are different.
Based on our role.
And it depends on what type of man you are. I think a successful man's emotional intelligence is much different than someone who may not be as successful. Their aspirations or their experiences are different than the average man. Like, I'll use me for example. Like, I'm now, I'd say I'm pretty successful for my own right, for what I call success. And I'm a single father. So for me, as a single father with a pretty, known reputation, like, I date differently. Like, I just started dating again, even because my daughter's still young. So, but how I approach dating is so different now. Like, I like more children in the future, but I don't need a baby. I think when as a man, if you haven't had a kid yet, that can sometimes get clouded because like you want a kid, so you just might get into something because she's cool and you both want kids and you have it. So now it's like a woman can't really dangle that over me, like, oh, I want a baby, like I have a baby. So what else comes with you now? Like it really makes it more difficult for a woman to get me, to be honest, right now, just because like you really have to show up for real, because you can't really fake it right now. You can't just say, oh, I want kids. It's like, okay, well, I already have a kid. So one, if you're not okay with me already having a kid, you're already cut. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's a much more intentional vetting process now. So I think men and women, we both have emotional intelligence, of course, but we use it very differently.
That's true.
And what have you noticed about the dating games prior to? Because you said you paused dating for a while, right? So when you were dating before versus you're getting back into the dating scene now, what differences have you noticed in the dating scene now? Or do you feel like it's still the same?
It's hard because I'm dating differently now. So I can't really compare it.
Talk about that.
No, I mean, I'm dating differently as a father.
For sure.
It's like me, like single non-child father. So single non-child Ryan. Was dating differently than single father Ryan. And 100%. I think
so your views are just different. What you're looking for is just different.
Everything is different.
Even the spaces you probably go into are all different.
All of it. So it's I guess to give you a little bit, it's like when I didn't have a child and I was single, I wasn't really too concerned on, like, I value and what someone can bring is important to me. But to me, I was really more concerned with just like how well we get along and just, someone that is ambitious enough to have something that they love. And if I like you and we get along, I was okay to try it. Like I didn't really, because I'm like, I already have everything I need. Like, I work for myself. Like, as long as I like being around you and we're cool and there's something you're working towards, I'm cool with it. We can start. Now, like, that's not enough. No, but like, I'm just being honest. Like, to me, that was okay. I was like, we're just not. It can go anywhere. I don't know where it's going. We might get married. We might not. I don't know. It was just more just like, who knows? I don't know.
Go with the flow.
Let's go with the flow. I can't go with the flow right now. I can't. And there's nothing wrong with that.
You got somebody dependent on you, though.
But I feel like that's not to say going with the flow is a bad thing. I think it's just you have to acknowledge in time of your life where that can no longer work for you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I I hope everyone goes with the flow at some point in their life so they can learn themselves. I date different people and meet different people. Like, you need to have that era, but there becomes a transition where, like, yeah, going with the flow doesn't work for me anymore.
Yeah.
It's okay for other people, but for me, it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's where I'm at now, where I'm like, I can't date like that anymore. It was cool at the time. And now it's like, I'd rather not date if it's not, you know, one, intentional, of course. And if it's not, you know, serving a purpose more than just you just being around. Like, I don't really need people around.
Yeah,
stuff to do.
100%.
I lots of stuff to do.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
so
Yeah.
I think the companionship factor is less high on my chart anymore. You know, I feel like when somebody just wants them around, you just want to chill with somebody, go somewhere. Now I'm like, I don't need you around, but
You're looking for a purpose partner.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
100%.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, so you're good. You know, can you stay? Yeah, but yeah. So let me ask you this question. So we're gonna get into one of the questions here.
Yeah, sure.
And this is the question that I actually found
that
to
you
be.
chose.
Yeah. It says, how do you prefer to communicate? Text, call, or FaceTime? Right. I thought that was an amazing question.
It's such a simple question, but it's very relevant.
Yeah. So
because if that doesn't align, that already is the issue.
Right.
Issue, yeah.
So you're going into my thing already. So my question is that a deal breaker? Or could that be a deal breaker?
The misalignment of that?
Yeah, the misalignment of that communication. I'll ask you as well, you know? Yeah.
I'm trying to think of if anyone is...
You know, somebody's a texter, and you're more of a FaceTime person.
I know you're asking. I'm just trying to see, like, of the interactions I've had.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone has adjusted, even if they may communicate or prefer communicating a certain way. I feel like the women, at least the women that are interested in me, have adjusted to my style in some sense. And if they're not comfortable with it, they voiced it, you know? So I haven't had a deal breaker because I'm very transparent of how I communicate. If it doesn't work for you, you can tell me.
Yeah.
I never had someone say, I'm not doing, you know what I mean? Like, it's more just like, you either say, this doesn't work for you, so it'd be a deal breaker for you. I don't have a deal breaker for me because it's like, no one can force me to do anything. Like,
right.
You can't force me to communicate
a certain way,
especially if we're just talking.
Right.
So I prefer communicating on the phone or FaceTime when I have the time.
Right.
Like, if I'm not doing anything, I'm like,
being intentional with that time.
Yeah, like, if I'm not doing anything, I'm like, pick up the phone. Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? But texting for me is more of a fleeting thing. If I'm like, right now, if someone messaged me, I'm on a podcast. But I probably wouldn't have a conversation like this. It'd be like, you know, it'd be quick things.
Right.
Like, I don't want to have long conversations through text.
Right.
I'm like, pick up the phone and call. If I'm texting you, it's like, I'm probably shooting, I'm traveling in something. Like, I'm not going to ignore you, but if you're texting me, I'm usually doing something.
Right.
So you can communicate with me like that, but it's probably because he's busy. But if we want to communicate and talk, I'm not going to text you. Like, I'll literally say, I'll pick up the phone. Like, if you're sending me a long message, I've literally responded, I'm not going to text this. I'm not going to send this in the text. Yeah. I've literally had to, as a boundary, I'm like, I'm not sending this in the text.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk, you can call me.
Yeah.
That's literally the boundary. Like,
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's what's up.
For me, it's so weird. I prefer any other communication but talking on the phone. So I includes in person. Like, I rather speak to you in person or I rather FaceTime or text.
But not the phone
But
call.
I don't know what it is about the phone call. There's a sense of anxiety that comes with it, and I don't know why. Maybe that's something that we need to unpack later on my therapist. But I don't know, there's some kind of, unless I'm talking to my man, then that's different. I'm comfortable talking to him on the phone. But
so technically that you're good then.
But it's only him, but everybody else, I'd rather text or FaceTime. I'm curious
how FaceTime doesn't give you more anxiety than phone calls.
I don't know. I think there's something about
be present.
seeing the person's face that's calming, and them seeing my face. I think that's
because you can
read them more. They can see temperament. They can see they can see my face.
Not knowing how someone's operating.
Maybe
on the other side.
Maybe that's what
you
it is.
say something and you don't know how they're really truly responding
to me.
Right. And I like voice note too.
Right.
But I don't know. There's something about like if I know that I have something long to say, I'd rather voice note it than call, which is so weird. I don't know why. I don't know. But yeah.
It's interesting.
It is interesting.
Dive
That's
into
interesting.
That.
Yeah.
I'm more like Ryan, man. I'm like definitely like call or FaceTime. Like the texting and the WhatsApp, I'm just like, you know, I can't deal. You know what I mean? And I've tried to do the whole big long text and I respond to that. And the problem with that is that there's so much miscommunication that happens in that process that it's lost in translation. It's lost in translation after.
It's like the long text is the worst.
And the thing about it is that because we're talking about like building relationships with an actual person, right? They can like, oh, I'm gonna add this part. They put a heart emoji or they put the heart emoji beating hearts. In your mind, you're thinking, oh, she loves me. But in her mind, she's just saying,
that's something
that was cool. That was cool. Yeah, there's something I just used. Right?
Yeah, it's an emoji I just used. Yeah. Seriously.
You don't know someone's reasoning for
full miscommunication.
It's just perception, interpretation. Yeah. You can't tell tone. You can't tell anything.
Nothing. Right? Yeah. And so you're feeling this person
they
based
think you're
on
being rude. You're like, I'm literally just talking.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
There's so many times you're like, oh, you don't have to be rude. I'm like, I'm literally just responding.
That's happened to me.
I'm just responding. I'm sorry I didn't put an exclamation mark.
Yeah.
Like I'm literally just
or I didn't put a smiley face or a heart.
It's created so much disconnect because of what people perceive as
from their own
positive
perspective
conversation through text.
Yeah.
Or how they're used to texting. If they're used to texting their friends, all their girls text them a certain way. If you don't text like their girls,
exactly.
He's mad. It's like, no, I'm just not them.
Yeah.
Morning, GGGG.
Yeah, that's me.
Because if you say just morning, that sounds cold.
Yeah.
Why? Because if I said right now, I said morning to you right now, you'd be like, oh, what's up?
Yeah.
But if I say morning and just text, it looks cold.
Yeah. Where's the extra G, man? Where's the sun emoji? Come on.
And I didn't even know what that. I had no idea. Remember, I'm coming from another generation, right? Where I'm like, yo, we picked up the phone and called people. You know what I mean? So now I'm doing this whole WhatsApp thing. I just found out that that's what morning means. I didn't.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, I just say that to say that. And then this part, I'll go to this question right here. This one, which is pretty cool. Have we reached any deal breakers during this conversation? If yes, the game is over. I like that part. The game is over.
That's the best card in the deck.
I know, right?
That's the best card in the deck because it literally makes you be honest.
You lost your quarter. Your quarter's gone.
It makes you be honest.
Yeah, it's true.
Because some people are staying in the conversation knowing they've been had a deal breaker, but they're like, and it also allows an exit.
Yeah.
Like a safe exit. Because I feel like some people might have a feeling of like, I want to stop, but
you gotta go to the washroom and call the girls.
Yeah, like how do I say
how do I stop? Yeah.
How do I say stop playing without being rude? Like, oh, I'm kind of good. Like, you know.
Yeah, that's smart. That's
at least
a
that
smart
question's
card.
like, actually we have reached a deal breaker.
Yeah.
And the person's like, oh really? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, game's done.
Yeah, the game's over.
Yeah.
And it's not you saying I'm over, it's like the game is actually over.
Yeah.
Each one. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You just kind of
No, that's
soft.
smart. That's a smart
tab.
Yeah. You know, so I've thought about these things.
Yeah,
like,
it's dope. It's dope.
These little things to kind of make it work.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. Yeah, I think we talked about this last question here, so I'm gonna skip those two, man. Anything pressing, man? Anything you want to share? Anything you want to share?
Honestly, man, I just want to say, you know, just thank you, Toronto, for showing up for yourselves and
the
man and the women. You know, it's one of those things that like I don't view myself as a celebrity at all, like because I work with actual celebrities,
right.
So like, but I've seen the glimpse of like working with them. I've seen things that I'm starting to experience a little bit, at a super small scale. Just like,
what do you mean, like what? In what sense?
Just like if I'm
just
out,
maybe being noticed.
Yeah, just if I'm out, like I was at Cabana yesterday. People were like, "Are you the guy that made the game? Like you're it." Like,
oh, that's
I get stopped a lot for that.
Yeah.
Like and the worst stage stories.
Yeah.
That I started reading. Like my TikTok grew from 10,000 to 200,000 in like 7 months.
Oh wow.
It grew like super fast. So like 200,000 people followed me. So like it's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I was in Miami. You think I read the dating game? You think I read the dating game? I was in New Orleans for Mardi Gras. Hey, sorry, can I get a picture with you? Like, wherever I was.
Yeah.
I'm in LA, even in LA. Like, people in LA know me because of this. Like, so it's like, it's out there. So it's an interesting thing to process, like, to have something you've created work and then be recognized for it, like, by strangers constantly.
Right.
Like, so... like what we just did, and I say we is because the whole city did, not just me, but what we just did this week, with selling out 3 nights back to back to back of 150 people for a dating event, that's unheard of. Period. Like not just like
3P,
not just like for Toronto, like.
Anywhere.
No one's done anywhere. You cannot give me a record of that happening anywhere. Like a dating event of 150 people
going back to back,
going back and then back in tomorrow, and then back in tomorrow. And like, and I would even say not just dating events, but like events in general. That's hard to do just as an event to do it again tomorrow. You have so many people that like you're back tomorrow, and then again and still feel it. Like that's a very rare feat that I did and we did together. And I feel like that's just a stepping stone for, of like right now you're like I always talk about moments like throughout my whole career. Like there's certain memorable moments that happen to me that I'm like, you're gonna look back at this and be like, yo, remember that? Like that was the start of like, and
that's big.
This is right now this podcast and us having this the week it happened. Like a year from now, I'll be like, 20 events in, like
it's true. That's
like
big.
Knock
that's
off
big.
how many cities. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like the start of
something.
I'm about to run a tear. Like you know what I'm saying? Like this is the
global global.
This is the conversation of like, yo, when he had this conversation, this was before he
went global.
Hit New York, hit Miami, hit this, hit that. And like I'm gonna come back to this conversation and be like, yo, remember when I had the back-to-back 3 and now I'm gonna have a whole weekend somewhere. I'm gonna have a
resort. Or
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Just the possibility.
I mean, I don't know what that next big thing is, but it started right in Toronto. Here. I'm happy. I'm happy this started here. So that everyone could be like, yo, like people are following me. I have a lot of people following me. People you would even imagine that are just watching my stuff. And
good job, Toronto.
That's what I'm saying. Like that is now the staple. I'm glad I did it here because like everyone who follows me, like people I met in LA, like the amount of celebrities that watch my stuff and follow me, like I met all these people, like they're just in my stories, just they might not say anything, but they're like, what is this guy doing in Toronto? It's like everyone's watching it. So now when I say, oh, doing this in LA, oh, you're doing that Toronto thing in LA. Like they're gonna associate it's that, even though I've done it in other cities, but like I haven't done that. So now it's gonna be like, oh,
what's up.
You did that 3-night thing in Toronto, like you're doing it, like that's gonna be the core of these memories.
That's what's up.
And then for Toronto as a city, like
that's big.
Everyone's gonna remember that. Like people, the amount of messages, like I've never had such a good time like this. Like someone made a whole Reddit thread about their time.
Wow.
And people were just talking about it, like, yeah, like it was a great time. Like I'm just observing feedback and just watching this.
It's amazing, man.
And the whole city it's just nothing but positive things. So this is a very monumental time, man, for me.
Yeah, man. And I'm glad that we got the opportunity to, have this conversation and catch you while, the fire's hot. You know what I'm saying? The fire's hot. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that you invested in the time and being out here and, taking the time out to, sit at the champions table with us and have this real cool conversation, man.
This is great, man.
Yeah. So we thank you all for viewing. This is gonna be great. Stay tuned, man. There's more to come from Mr. KOA. And
Yes.
you know, there's just really cool creatives at this champions table right now, and you're gonna see a lot of things coming. So we just thank you for joining us. Yeah, more in store. More in store. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Peace.
Excellent.
Dope.
Yeah.
Very good.
That was dope.
You want to do some B shots of the?
Yeah, we'll do
we'll do
the.
that for sure.
You want to do that, like with the shot with the
Give me
yeah.
a second
Okay, cool.
just to separate these files.
Yeah.